Good morning, guys. It is Monday, February 11th. I'm about to grab some breakfast, and then I have class this morning, and later in the day we'll get started. So right now I'm going to work on the breeding mechanics. I want to implement it with the UI so that the animals that you have in your inventory correspond with the animals on the breeding UI. So I'll just make it a lot more intuitive for the player and easier whenever I go to actually breed them and spawn a new animal. So I worked a little bit on the UI for the breeding. Did not get much done at all. I apparently don't understand objects in class as well. So I want to try to learn how to do that properly because I know what I want to do, but I'm just not sure how to do it. So today I worked on the home base UI. Basically I combined two scripts into one, and I also made it so there was no home base scripts on the player object, it was just on the home base itself. The question for this week is, why did I pick the Unity game engine to make my games? And this answer really has three parts. The first is because I just picked it, or I found a list and Unity was one of the options. The next is because I thought there's a lot of great beginner-friendly tutorials. One guy who I watched back then, and I still watch to this day, is a guy called LAKEY. He makes amazing Unity tutorials. And the final reason is because I was really into Hearthstone at the time, and Hearthstone was built on the Unity engine, so I thought that was pretty cool. So right now I'm going to go into Blender and make some animal models. Like the player, it's going to be pretty basic, but I just wanted to do it now so I can at least see visually through the UI and through the functionality of the game how the species and breeding works. So I made two animal models, and I'm liking them a lot. They won't be final, but they're really good for now. It's helping me visualize how these systems work together a lot. I am having some trouble with the prefabs. I'm not sure why exactly I can't delete the one model off of the one prefab. So I'm going to have to watch some videos and learn how to use the new system, because it will be very useful later on to get that working right with all the animals. So now I'm going to make a third animal model, which will be a combination of the two ones I already made, which will be the bred species, so I can actually visually see how the breeding system works and get that working correctly so I can set it up for the other animals later. The breeding system is now somewhat working. It's not completely working since it still keeps the animals that you just bred, so you can breed an infinite amount, but the basics for the system are working now and I'm pretty happy. So now I'm going to continue work on the animal breeding system. I'm going to get it so you can't spawn infinite amounts of animals, and also that the inventory updates after you breed the animals. now working. I got a little confused at one point with the other inventory, didn't realizing that it was actually updating, but it is working now. However, I'm starting to see the faults in my code. Like, there are some things that, like for the breeding combos, that it's not gonna work with multiple combos, which is crucial. And also the way I'm doing the inventories, I think I'm checking, or I'm using different references way too much, where I should just have a central reference. And also with the if statements, even though the inventory is relatively small with only 4 slots, if I end up changing that, I'm gonna have to change a lot of code, and I'd probably be better off using a for loop. So at some point I'm going to update that, which would probably be the next thing to optimize that. I don't know if I'll film it or not. I'm definitely gonna need that to get that under control.